Tournament fishing is one of this country's fastest growing sports. Each year, thousands of anglers compete in ABT brim, bass and barra events, hoping to win their place in the Australian Fishing Championships. This season, 3 of those qualifiers join 9 seasoned pros to compete in 6 of the toughest events this series has ever held.
That is a once-in-a-lifetime fish.
And for the first time ever, an American FLW pro has made the journey down under to try and claim the crown for the US.
Hank and the Yank.
Anglers will be pushed to the limit.
What?
Records will be broken.
Smash is that? Yes!
And champions will be made. These guys will hold nothing back to win a title that is prized more than any other. Last round, Darren Borg's local knowledge of the Clarence River catapulted Team Mercury into the lead. This week, it's the first of our 2 bass rounds and the championship race is wide open. Hello and welcome to round 3 of the Australian Fishing Championships, coming to you from Somerset Dam in Queensland's southeast. I'm Matthew Campbell, and once again I'm joined by Steve Morgan. Steve, a warm welcome to you.
Thanks, Matt, and this is going to be a great event here at Somerset Dam. It's the first time AFC's been here, and I know our bass pros are really looking forward to it.
Well, our bass pros are centre stage, so why don't we meet our teams?
Representing Mercury, current champion Matthew Mott. The 37-year-old professional bass and barra guide is back to defend his title.
Club Marine's bass angler is long-time AFC competitor Tim Morgan. The 33-year-old Brisbane local is a former champion.
Team Berkley's Harry Watson needs little introduction. Hank is a 2-time AFC champion and has been fishing freshwater impoundments since they were first stocked.
Shimano's bass angler is 59-year-old Brisbaneite Kerry Symes. Kerry qualified for this season's AFC by winning last year's ABT Bass Pro Grand Final. An outstanding field with an enormous amount of experience.
And nearly every single angler here today has caught a bag of over 4 kilos in Somerset Dam at a previous ABT event.
And as all our pros are battling pre-race nerves, Steve, tell us a little bit more about this spectacular venue.
Somerset Dam is located on the Stanley River, about 90 minutes drive to the west of Brisbane. It's one of the most popular dams in the region and one of the most heavily fished. Recently, it's risen to nearly 100% capacity for the first time in years. It's a very popular dam with water skiers and boaters, with many broad bays. But it's also a haven for anglers with a huge population of bony brim and the bass that feed on them.
It is simply superb, and the men who'll be in the middle of the action for the entire day are Carl Jochimson and Adam Reuter.
Well, Carl, it's bass fishing time here on AFC Outdoors, something that you're very familiar with. Yep. It's been fishing a little bit hard here at Somerset. What can we expect to see from our pros today?
Well, Adam, I know over the previous weeks the boys have been catching 5-6 kilo limits. That's for 2 bass, monster fish. That's what this dam's renowned for. Let's hope we can see a bit of that action. I know they did it tough in the pre-fish. We've got good weather. I think they're going to find those schools on their sounders. If they can do that and they turn on 5 minutes, they can whack a couple of them big fellas in the well.
Sounds good to me. Now, who's your money on, mate?
Gonna have to go old teammate Timmy.
No worries. Well, I'm going for Kerry Symes. I think he's got a winning plan.
Thanks, guys. And Steve, you know this place very, very well. Who do you think might take out today?
Well, Somerset's one of those lakes where one big bite can influence a whole tournament. I really couldn't pick a winner here today. The guy that gets the big bite is going to win the tournament.
So today we're fishing Somerset Dam. It's one of the premier bass fisheries in Australia. It can be I've come out here and I've had the best days fishing I've ever had, but also the toughest. When the fish don't want to bite, they don't bite. A legal bass is 30 centimetres to the fork, so from there to there, a good fish in Somerset, if you can land it, is a 50 centimetre to the fork. So if we can get one like that today that's in good condition, we'll break the AFC record easily. It'll go about 3 kilo.
Well, the man that holds the AFC record for 2 bass is Harry Watson.
Lake Somerset bass, pretty much the biggest bass in Australia. So if we do bring big ones in, they'll be over 3 kegs. But we'll just have to wait and see if them big ones want to show their faces.
And Harry there showing the signs that maybe his pre-fish wasn't as good as he expected.
Motty, your current AFC champion, you're coming into this round in the lead. What's your tactics straight up?
Mate, I'm still undecided really. I'm just going to probably go around the spit here. I found a couple of fish scattered yesterday morning early. Give it probably 10 or 15 minutes, and then if that doesn't work, I'm going to slip up the dam. Just only reason I'm hitting it early is just before the skiers and all that get on the water.
Yep.
But mate, I really haven't got much of a plan actually, because you can see by how many rods I got on the deck. So just 2 bites, 2 fish, and we're in the hunt.
Good luck, Motty.
Thanks, buddy.
Well, Matthew Mott, usually one of the most confident anglers on the tour, struggling for a plan this morning.
Kerry, it's your rookie year, first morning on your first AFC. What's your tactics and how are your nerves?
Nerves are pretty good. Stoked to be here. Can't wait to get out and whack some fish, hopefully. I've got a school of fish that I found in the pre-fish, and tactics will be just to sit on them all day and hopefully get 2 good fish out of them.
Excellent. Good luck, Kerry.
Thanks very much.
Our rookie may well be 59 years old, but he's sounding more confident than some of his competitors. The Ford Ranger clock is counting down to the start. The first of our bass rounds from Somerset Dam. The siren sounds and our championship leaders Mercury first to go.
Let's go, baby. Number 1 on the water, baby.
Matthew Mott wearing his Club Marine PFD and his engine safety lanyard. Safety is a priority for all of the AFC competitors.
Our pros leaving at 20-second intervals.
Whoa.
Next up, Berkley's Harry Watson, and he knows this dam very, very well.
That's right, Harry Watson in 2007 won the ABT Bass Pro event here, only on a small 20-metre stretch of bank.
And what a moment this is for Kerry Symes. He's underway, and what a venue this is for him to make his AFC debut. This is the arena where he won the ABT Bass Pro Grand Final. He'll be enjoying himself right now. And last but not least, Tim Morgan from Club Marine, underway.
Right, Symes has got a bit of a start on me, but we'll catch him on the way up.
And as all our pros head to their first starting positions, Steve, the rules a little bit different from our first 2 brim rounds.
That's right, bag limit of only 2 bass in Queensland, so they're fishing for a limit of 2 fish. Both have to be 30 centimetres to the fork of the tail.
It is a stunning day, heading for a top of 28 degrees. The winds coming out of the east-southeast will pick up later in the day to about 30 knots. All in all, conditions very good for catching bass.
Have a look at him. Now that's by no means a big Somerset bass. I've just caught this little fella off the edge on a soft plastic, but my bet the boys are going to be out in that deep water, 20 foot plus, chasing the bony brim schools around. And that's where they get the 50 centimetre plus models, well over 3 kilos. This is only a little fella. It's all catch and release. I'm going to let him go. Get that hook out.
And here's the first tactical move of the day. Harry Watson has slowed down quickly. He's still within sight of the start line.
Yeah, just trying to find some fish here. I'll go have a quick look around here. If it doesn't happen, then going to move. I've got another spot to go to, but the other 2 boys are gone there as well, so I don't know what's going on there. Just got to try and find some decent fish.
Harry Watson searching for fish as we find Matthew Mott.
I'm just getting one of my 27 rods I'll be using today. It's not normally a good sign to have this many, but, you know, what can you do? One first cast would be very good. I'll just do a few closer in and then we'll spin around and work them out.
We're 10 minutes into the competition and amazingly, we've got 2 teams here within eyesight. We've got Harry behind me and Motty not too far away. Up the other end of the lake, we've got the same scenario. We've got Kerry, Team Shimano, and Timmy, Team Club Marine, also within eyeshot. This is going to be a real tight one.
As Carl said, Mercury and Berkley have chosen to start their sessions right at the start line at the spit. Moving up the lake around 5 kilometres, we can see Club Marine and Shimano, both choosing to start their campaigns in a popular tournament area called Bay 13.
And that's exactly where we head right now for our first look at Tim Morgan.
Kerry and I found this spot yesterday and we kept it very quiet, so you know, hopefully these fish here will come on eventually and then we'll whack a couple of good ones, because I know around the rest of the dam yesterday we could only find patches of 2 and 3 fish and they were very, very hard to try and target and catch because the wind was blowing, you drift off them quickly. Whereas here we've got fish under us pretty consistently, so it's just picking the right lure, working it the right way and hopefully catching them.
So, Kerry, with such a keen competitor as Timmy fishing the same school of fish as you, what does that do to your mindset?
It makes it really good, actually. It makes me feel quite comfortable that I'm in the right spot. A guy with Tim's experience and expertise fishing very nearby means that this is the right place to fish. The sounder looks so good. Like nice big arches, there's some good sized fish down there. Hugging the bottom, which is a classic mode for them. It's just all looks too good. We just need to find one that's biting.
It sounds good for Shimano, but there's a long way to go. Now, back to Matty Mott from Mercury, near the start line.
Yep. Oh, he's only a little tacker. Only a bubba. That's a good sign, though.
All of our bass pros love hooking a bass early. It proves that their plan is the right one. They've got the right lure, they're in the right spot, they just need to catch a legal fish.
First one in the boat. He's a very, very little bass, this one. But he's absolutely nailed that. You can see that blade, evergreen blade in there. It's very popular colour in this dam. We have a lot of barred grunner. I like using that colour with the stripes and that in here. There he is. See you in a couple of years, mate. Tell your mum and dad to come and visit me. Righto, we'll just put him back in here.
None of our pros are on the board, but that's about to change when we return after the break.
That is the biggest bass I've ever caught, I think.
I love fishing just because it's me against the fish and me against the other competitor, but mainly I think it's just fooling that fish into taking a lure, you know, and looking at your sounder and seeing either fish or weed or structure and working out, yep, they're going to be in that, or no, they're going to be out here in the clear water. It's just it's another form of sport, really, but you're up against an unknown. You know, you can't see your other competitor actually, you know, and then all of a sudden, you know, you're putting your lure or winding it or jigging it or whatever, and crunch, you've got that fish, and you go, hey, I knew you were there, you know.
And Harry Watson's hoping for that feeling right now, hoping to get off to a very good start.
Come on, fishy, 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 fishy. Gotcha.
And Harry's talked one of these plentiful bass down at this end of the lake into eating one of his lures. He just needs to get this fish into the boat.
Just take it easy on him. I've got to organise my net.
And Harry looks like he's not quite ready to land this fish yet. Maybe he didn't expect a bite until a little later in the day. And although it looks like Harry's fishing in the middle of nowhere, he's fishing a specific ledge along this point. That spit runs nearly to the other side of the lake, and he's hopping the lure down in front of the fish.
He doesn't feel like a bad fish. He's chugging away. Got him on a black mask. Usually the fish you get on that are quality. Hope it's just not a yellow belly, that's all. Feels like it's a bass. I'm just going easy on him. He's all right. He's legal. He'll do me, and he's number one in the net. Yes. Whoa! Who the man? That's always a relief.
Harry, considering you didn't catch a fish in the pre-fish, you got to be happy with that straight up in the morning.
Oh, you got that right, Carl. I was just thinking, geez, I've got to get one soon before these skiers get out here, but yeah, went back to the old jackal mask, the old faithful, and got a clunk first cast, missed him, and then got this bloke second cast. So
nice.
Real happy.
Well done.
I'll put him in the well before he jumps out of the boat.
A tremendous sense of relief for Harry Watson as Berkley gets the first fish of the day.
So desperate times call for desperate measures. There's just so many fish on the screen and they're not eating anything I'll throw at them. So I'm going to pull the fly rod out and hopefully this little fly here can tempt the bass into eating. Because the flies are so small and light, you actually use the line to cast them out. And this is actually a sinking line, so the line actually sinks at 1 foot every 2 seconds. So I've got to count it down to 30 because the fish are sitting down to 15 foot and then just slowly strip that line back.
Fly fishing's a technique that anglers use when they know they're on the fish. These guys are in the right spot.
We're fishing today in what's commonly known as Bay 13 of Somerset Dam. It's a very popular spot. Hasn't been fishing well for quite a few years due to the water levels being down, but now that they're back to full, Bay 13's back to all its glory. Because it's nice and flat and it slopes so slowly, I think the bass find it easy to find that comfortable water level. They seem to tend to like a certain depth of water at certain times. Whether it's because of temperature or pressure, I'm not sure. It's probably a mixture of both. It traditionally is a really good fishing spot, but today they're just not biting, not yet anyway.
Kerry Symes displaying all his experience there. He's being patient. He knows something will happen soon.
Motty, when the going gets tough, the tough get going. How are you going?
Mate, started off all right. I haven't got a legal fish yet, but I've probably caught 5 or 6 undersize, couple just under. Dropped a nice fish here when I first turned up. A lot of fish starting to turn up here. I found these yesterday in the pre-fish and got a couple of good whacks off them, so they're really hard on the bottom. That's why I'm using the ice jig, just trying to keep it right in their face and just annoying them. And then I'm sort of changing between that and a plastic and long cast and stuff like that. But while I'm seeing good fish on this sounder, just on this edge of this drop off here, I'll keep persisting with the ice jig. Today, a day like today, mate, 2:30s and you're in the hunt, you know.
Keep whacking them, mate.
Thanks, buddy.
Back over to Bay 13. Shimano and Club Marine are cast apart.
Okay, time to throw the last weapon in the arsenal, a soft jackal. This is what I got the fish yesterday on the pre-fish, but they were sitting a bit more down towards the bottom. But again, with this fella, I'm going to rub a little bit of scent on him to make him taste a little bit better for the fish. So not only will it look like one of the bony brim the bass are eating, but it'll smell like one as well.
Tim Morgan obviously confident that he's on the right fish to win this tournament. He's just rotating through his techniques until he finds the right one.
Yep, there's one there. First cast with it. Maybe I should have done it a bit earlier. Doesn't seem like a real big fish. Oh no, he's got a few good head shakes. So just hopping that. I saw those fish on the bottom, so don't fall off and don't be a yellow belly. Oh, seems like he's got a nice bit of weight to it. That is a good bass. That is an absolute cracker of a bass. This is one of these big ones that I was saying about. Ooh, ooh, come on. Don't pull out now, don't pull out now. Oh, the net's not big enough. There we go, got him. Woohoo! That is an absolute cracker of a Somerset bass. That is one of the biggest bass I've ever caught, I think. So that there is a lovely, big, fat, healthy Somerset bass. It's also got a tag in it, so I'll get the information off that. I'll measure him now so we can send that in and see what his growth rate is. 47 to the fork. Throw him in live well and try and get another one.
And that is what Somerset Dam is all about. Big, fat, stock bass that have been eating bony brim all their life. That is a tournament-winning fish.
The cameraman just asked me, that's what I caught the fish on yesterday, why didn't I use it earlier? The answer is because I'm an idiot. First cast with it, that good fish, let's try and get another one.
Club Marine has set the standard. Can our other pros rise to the challenge? We'll find out after the break.
I was really lucky growing up. Every weekend that I wasn't playing sport, we were away fishing. So I've just got a new nephew, young Finn, and I look forward to taking him out fishing whenever I can, because I think there's nothing better than getting out, getting on the water. Just fishing the tournaments has taken me to so many different places. Kids are the future of the sport, and the more AFC and the more fishing we get on TV, hopefully the more kids will get into it.
The little kid's on again. Kerry, we're getting towed up here, mate.
Yeah, looks like it.
Be scared in about 12 years' time when he's old enough to fish the comps. We're in a bit of trouble, I reckon.
He's got another one.
Want that one, Kerry?
Timmy, you got a cracker in the well. What's the technique that made him come up and smash your lure?
Well, I threw everything I had, the fly and everything this morning, Carl, and there's heaps of fish on the sand here, caught nothing, but all the fish were suspended, and I came across one patch of fish that was sitting right on the bottom, so I threw the soft jackal, first cast, as it was dropping back down, whack.
So just hopping, just slow draw and then letting it sink back to the bottom?
Pretty vicious hop up to get their attention, and then as it's dropping back down to the bottom, I just felt that clunk on the line, set the hooks, and yeah, beautiful 47 fork length fish.
Nice, well done, Timmy.
Cheers, mate.
Get another one.
There are very few days on the water when the fish aren't biting at all. Usually you can find at least one lure that the fish will eat. It's just a matter of rotating through the different styles until you find something that they'll react to. You'll see our bass pros doing this all the time on AFC, and that's this week's Angle Fishing Tip.
Oh, not a slow wind, yes. Sweet, so I'd almost finished the retrieve and just started slow winding that jackal back. He's nowhere near as big as the last one. Still be a nice bass for number 2 in the well. Yes, thank you very much. So not a real big fish, but a definite legal. So we'll see if I can get that jackal out of his mouth there. So, probably a 34 centimetre fish, but to get number 2 in the well and have that cracker there, what a great feeling.
Timmy, that was all right. I seen you had finished the retrieve and you were just cranking that last little bit back, and he's absolutely drilled you. You've got to be happy with that.
Yeah, on those soft jackals, it's usually as that lure's dropping back down, but I just kept the rod tip down, started cranking her in, and he drilled it. So I don't care how they take it as long as they take it. So we'll get him in the well and hopefully get the second bigger one.
Well done, Timmy.
Cheers, Carl.
Club Marine, the first team with a full live well. Not to be for Mercury. Matthew Mott still to get on the board.
Oh, come on. That's a better one. Oh, yeah. Oh. Oh, that hurt. That was an absolute Henry huge fish. How could a fish with that miss a lure with that many hooks on it?
Frustration for Mercury, and it could be a crucial mistake.
So, Motty, now that you've potentially had the tournament-winning fish on and lost him, you seem to be a little tense.
Yeah, mate. Well, I'm still having fun though. You got to be. Yeah, yesterday we never even got too many hits. I think I had about 2 hits, and we've already landed probably 10 undersized ones. One couple of them like 29 and a halves. I thought they were there for sure. Then lost that absolute cracker, which potentially in this dam could have been a 3 kilo. Like, it felt like a really good fish. Didn't do anything wrong though. Just pulled the hooks on it. So what can you do? But it's really given me a lot of confidence now. There's a lot of fish here. No one else is around. And just hopefully we can get them 2 cracking fish. As I said, 230s, 231s, I'll be stoked with that. 2 fish in a well and we'll go from there. But there's a lot of fish just starting to mill around school up off the edge of this drop-off. So here's praying, mate.
Good luck.
Down to the bottom end of the dam now, and boat traffic is starting to increase. Harry's still there, but for how long?
I don't think I'm going to get my second fish here. I think these fish have shut down for the morning. Everything goes through your mind when you're in a comp, but what mostly goes through my mind is I wonder if they're catching them up the dam. I wonder if those fish that haven't been there for a week have come back onto those flats and schooled up, and the boys might be up there smacking them. That's the worst thing about this competition, the AFC. You're just always wondering what's going on. You've got to try and put it out of your head.
Some serious doubts from Harry Watson, but he has one in the well. Kerry Symes doesn't.
Just gone to a different sort of a plastic, slightly different presentation. This is a slider. It's a war of attrition. You can sit on these fish and know at some time they're going to bite. You just hope they bite while you're here, or you can run around the dam looking for more active fish. The only trouble with that is while you're running around, you haven't got a lure in the water. Yes! Beauty! We finally got the right grub. First cast with the new plastic and we've hooked up, which is just awesome. It's not a very big fish though, unfortunately, but still a fish the same. Very encouraging to finally get a bite. He's still all right. It's going pretty hard. It's better than I thought. He's a nice fish, actually. Beautiful fish, just what we wanted. Okay, 40 centimetres he is, that one. That's number one. Now we'll try and get a mate for him.
Kerry, mate, you got to be stoked with that. Your first bass in the AFC. I heard you say first cast with something. Was that a new lure?
Changed. Been swapping around. I've used, I think, 7 different rods this morning.
Yeah.
Swap them from one to the other, and just threw a slider grub then, first cast, and probably 3 cranks into the wind, he started biting. Followed me for about another 10 cranks and then hooked up.
Nice.
Which was cool.
Well
Heart's
done,
beating pretty rapidly, but
That's the go.
really stoked I got a fish.
Excellent, get him in the well. Well done, Kerry.
Kerry Symes has given Shimano a chance. When we return, Harry Watson's having a dance.
We are not catching fish here today.
When I caught that fish on that spinnerbait that my daughter Monique made for me, it was a really emotional time because my spot in AFC was really tentatively placed. You know, I didn't know whether I could stay in there. It was really close, and to catch that fish on it, you know, brought a little bit of a tear to my eye. I was really emotional at that stage.
Well done, Nikki. Look at that. That's the one we want.
Look, that's one of those things that you cherish forever, and that doesn't come along very often. So, you know, even now it's a bit emotional just talking about it now. It's something really special that a father and a daughter share, you know. What can I say?
It certainly was a magic moment for Matthew Mott, and he's hoping for another one. He's on the move now inside the last 2 hours because the dam is now getting very, very busy. Lots of skiers, lots of other boats now out on the water.
We are not catching fish here today because these fish are here to stay.
Mate, you're fishing in what could only be described as a washing machine. You're smack in the middle of the ski zone. What on earth would make you fish here?
Fish, Adam.
There you go.
There were fish here early. I've got a nice one, and yeah, I've just been sticking it out. I've been getting a few bites. I'm hanging till the washing machine gets a bit too rough. Once she gets to spin mode, I'm out of here. And that's nearly it now. I'm just about sick of it, so I'm going to move in a minute. Unless I get another bite soon, but I think the fish are getting sick of it too.
No worries, mate. Good luck for the rest of the day.
Over now to Tim Morgan. It seems movement is the order of the day.
For about the last 10 minutes, I've been fishing over fish with only 1 or 2 on the screen, and it makes it, you know, pretty hard to target your lure right in front of their face. So I'm just going to sound around, zigzag up and down a little bit of where I've been fishing all morning, and find out where the big concentrations of fish are, because you've got a lot more chance of catching a fish if there's a lot on the sounder and a lot under the boat. And here we go, just went over 3, 4, 5, 6 fish there, so we'll give it a crack here.
Let's break down this Bay 13 area of Somerset even further. From last year's lower levels, we can see the increase with the recent rains. Both Shimano and Club Marine have found the best concentrations of bass outside the old high water mark. The bass are still in this area because they're not yet comfortable moving up and over the newly flooded ground.
And finally, Harry Watson has decided he's not comfortable. He's on the move and at speed.
Tim, it's good to join you on your boat, mate. There's a reason that I am here. Tell me, you've got something that almost needs a saddle on it.
I've seen Harry zooming back and forth. I think he's looking for Hank, but he doesn't know I've got Hank in the well here, mate.
Mate, I'm going to go and have a look. Is it this one?
Yep, that one there, mate.
Oh, mate, that is an absolute horse. Have a look at that. It's got a tag in it and everything.
The problem is, on the other side, I've only got Hank's little brother. So I've got to...
yeah, that's got nothing.
It's got nothing.
But that one,
yeah,
that's got a massive bit on it, mate. I think that's going to put you in fairly good stead to take this one out, but it's not over yet.
Hour 15 to go, Adam, and if I can get another good fish there, I think I'll be standing in pretty good stead.
I reckon you're right, mate. Get to it.
Cheers, mate.
Get me off your boat.
Over to Mercury, Matthew Mott has found a nice sheltered bay.
Motty, you've come from one end of the dam to the other. You've gone from deep water fishing out on the flats to close to this edge. What are you doing now?
Mate, I just found some fish here off this drop-off yesterday. It sort of comes out to about 30 feet, so it's still pretty deep, and then drops into 50. I know there's been a few fish being caught around here trolling, and come here yesterday, done 2 casts and got whacked twice, and then just got another whack then. So they'll either be here or they won't. So there's a fair few fish under us, so we'll probably give it 10 or 15, and then if they don't bite, we'll zoom back around. I see the boys are back around in the corner where we've seen a few fish yesterday as well, so I might even have to cut in there and have a look as well.
Good luck, Motty.
Thanks, buddy. We'll try a reaction bait. Oh, spinner bait.
Now this is a big change of tactics for Motty. He's been fishing small finesse baits in front of the fish down deep. Now he's throwing this reaction bait up into the shallows. A reaction bait works on getting that bass to react and grab that lure whether it's hungry or not. After it grabs it, it decides whether it wants to eat it, but by then it's too late.
Yes. That's a better fish. And the old spinnerbait.
And you notice Motty's throwing the spinnerbait on spinning tackle here. A little unconventional, but it's got him the bite.
Don't be a yellow.
Motty worried about the yellow belly here because he's fishing a small rocky point. Yellow belly are notorious for hanging around these points, and they love spinnerbaits as much as a bass.
Don't be a yellow. It's not fighting like a yellow, it's fighting like a big bass. It's fighting like a big bass. Please be a big bass. Please. Oh yeah, it's a bass. Come on. I need this sucker. Get in the net, baby. Get in the net. Yes! Psst. Oh. Geez, we needed that. Oh. It's not huge. Hey, but we've got one on the board. Oh, oh man. My heart's racing at 3 million trillion miles an hour. Any other time you'd go, oh yeah, that's not so bad. But look at that. That's what we wanted. On the old Smack IB, very popular colour. Actually, one of the boys that works for me in the tackle shop, he used this lure to win the comp here this year. So, thanks Heath. Joyce, let's get him in the well. We'll go from there.
Mercury finally rising. After the break, it all heats up.
Yeah, baby.
I can't actually remember the first time I ever fished, but my mother shows me a picture of me when I was 2, sitting on Dad's old cane creel on the Shorncliffe Pier fishing with him. And they actually tied me to the creel so I wouldn't walk off the edge of the pier. My father is very special to me, and I still miss him passing. Probably every second weekend we went fishing, I guess. I've always been a fisherman. All my days, from as far back as I can remember, have been spent on the water fishing, collecting bait, or working out where to go fishing next.
Kerry Symes' father be proud now because he's on again.
Oh, this is a nice fish. This is a really nice fish. Pulling a bit of drag. This is the sort of fish we've been looking for. Plenty of weight here. It's a good fish.
And Kerry will be thrilled if he puts this into the net because that will be his first AFC tournament bass limit. And the other point of significance is that Kerry Symes qualified for the AFC by winning the ABT Bass Pro Grand Final within sight of where he's fishing right now.
Oh yeah, that's a nice bass. That's a fish we've been looking for. That's a really nice bass. Probably 45 plus. You can see that slider, he's really nailed it. Just come up and grabbed it, no bites, no nothing. A really nice fish, very, very happy with that.
Kerry, that must be a massive relief off your shoulders to put 2 in the well.
Oh, it is. I'm over the moon. I was getting a bit edgy there, probably half an hour ago, fishing for an hour and a half without a bite. And now I got 2 in the well. I'm really going to enjoy myself for the rest of the session.
Well done, Kerry. That's an awesome effort.
Thanks,
getting
mate.
in the well.
Shimano joining Club Marine with a full bag, 2 in the live well.
We've just moved up onto a ridge where we caught a few fish, me and my young fella, in a comp about a month ago, just off Dead Tree Point. The other boys are down a little bit further. Oh, we're all up here. Harry's over there now.
Motty's working his way down towards us. Trying to look as inconspicuous as possible. Now he's right behind him.
This is really incredible. We've got 4 of the AFC anglers in Bay 13, all fishing within 100 metres of each other. We've got Tim on 2, we've got Kerry on 2, and the anglers that did it tough yesterday, Harry and Motty, have got 1 each. We've seen them move into Tim and Kerry's spot now, and this is a classic example of when the fishing's tough and the pressure's on.
I'm just dreaming here, I'm just searching for nothing really. I'd be better off being down the spit, but just getting the guts flogged out of it down there by skiers.
Inside the last hour, signs of desperation from Berkley. Also Mercury needing something to happen.
Yep.
He's on.
Another little one. There's got to be one cracker in there. A little tacker. There we go, nice little fella. Let's put him back in there.
Unfortunately for Matthew Mott, he's been productive today, but it's not about quantity, it's about quality. And we've seen that from Tim Morgan.
And he still hasn't left Bay 13, and that's a smart decision because the quality of fish that he caught out of there before was fantastic. He's still rotating through his techniques. Now he's back onto the fly.
Yep. And he's on again in what could be the first upgrade of the day.
This one feels like it's got a bit more weight, but it hasn't done anything yet, so I think it'll be another relatively small one. Oh, a few good head shakes there. But yeah, it's been 2 hours without a hit. Put the fly on in about 15 minutes. I got one sort of just legal, and this one here might be a. Oh, he's a good fish. He's a very good bass. This is the one that I was looking for. Don't fall out, got to take it nice and easy. Those flies have only got little hooks in them. Oh, look at that, that's a lovely bass. That'll be, if I can land him, he'll be my biggest bass ever on fly. Woo-hoo! Yeah, baby. Happy with that. I know how to call him. I said it was a little one, and it's a cracker. Have a look at this. Got to be happy. And look at that fly right down in the corner of his mouth there. The bass vampire does it again. Just pops out that easily. And that's a lovely, you know, another probably 43, 44 centimetre fish, but look how fat it is. That's the one I needed. Excellent. So I'll just throw him on the measure to see the length of him. There you go, 44 centimetres to the fork of the tail. So that'd be near on a kilo upgrade for me. So that's the fish that I really needed, and I think it's going to be pretty hard to beat me now.
A big bass for Tim Morgan, coming at exactly the right time. Well, Harry Watson decided he's had enough. He's heading home. It just hasn't been Berkley's day.
Yeah, I think we'll call it quits there. We've got 5 minutes to go. We'll get back all right. I'd rather be back a little bit early than be late. We kept at it right till the death, but that big one didn't come along. But I'm still pretty happy with the bag we got. All in all, I'm just glad to have 2 fish. So he's hoping that they're big enough.
I couldn't ask to finish on a better note than that. And it's been a very tough day out here. We've been sitting on fish all day, and I've caught 5 fish for 6 hours fishing, so it's been very tough. Hopefully my bag's bigger than the other boys. Let's go back and see.
Tim Morgan brimming with confidence. Our pros heading back for the all-important weigh-in. We'll take a break. When we return, we'll find out just how big those bass are.
He's back with a vengeance. Look at those.
Welcome back to AFC Outdoors, round 3 from Somerset Dam in Queensland. And it was a pretty tough day, so let's see what transpired. Mercury and Berkley have both weighed in, and while productive, they only landed 1 legal fish each. In contrast, Club Marine and Shimano only landed keepers. Let's see how they go at the weigh-in.
And here he comes, the rookie bass angler of the year for AFC, Kerry Symes from Team Shimano. Now, oh, there are a couple of nice bass in there, aren't they, Carl? Look at those puppies.
Excellent.
Now, a bass angler who finally brought me 2 bass. Thank you very much for that. Mate, how was your day?
It was fantastic. It wasn't easy. Only caught 4 fish for the day, but the plan I worked out worked really well. All went perfectly.
Now, you stayed on the one spot pretty much all day, didn't you?
Yeah, there was a massive fish there, and I just thought if we stuck it out, we'd eventually get the bites, and that's exactly what happened.
Beautiful work, mate. Well, because our last two pros only weighed a fish each, I'm pretty sure you're going to scream into the lead with these two, but it's now against you and Timmy, mate. Here we go. And that'll do us at 2.67 kilos for two fish, mate. Well done. Shake my hand. Excellent work. Round of applause. Nice work. And from Club Marine, it's Tim Morgan. He got booted out of the brim last year, but he's back with a vengeance. Look at those. Mate, there's marks where the saddles used to be on one of those things. Tell us about that cracker. That is an absolute honker of a bass.
Yeah, it was only went 47 to the fork, but it was just a bit like me.
Very
fat.
round.
But yeah, got him. That was my first fish this morning, so we're sitting over fish all day. I think I only got 5 legals for the day, and the other good one I got with about 20 minutes to go.
And you were within spitting distance of Kerry Symes all day. Was there a gentleman's agreement that you'd both go and fish that same school?
Yeah, we both knew we were going to go and start there. I only had 3 casts there yesterday and got one about 40 and just drove away and left it, so...
Nice work, nice work. All right, well, here they go. Now, mate, I can tell just by hanging onto that bag that you've smashed these other 3 bass anglers today. Certainly the 2 in the red and white tops there. I think you've got Kerry. They are just an absolute cracking bag. But what we're going for here is to see whether you're going to break Harry's old record of 3.82 kilos. You don't think it will?
Hopefully.
Well, we're about to find out. Smashes it! Absolutely smashes it! Oh, mate, absolutely beautiful. Well done. All right, Timmy, so now you've got a chance to take out the individual biggest bass of 2.2 kilos caught by Jason Ehrlich. Mate, this might just do that. What are you thinking?
Hope so. I think it's a fair bit bigger than the other one, so fingers crossed.
Let's have a look. Oh! It doesn't do it! Oh, no!
Oh, he's not here anyway, so it's all right.
What are the chances?
Tim Morgan missing out on another record by just 10 grams, but he did score the Engel Big Fish of the day, and that means he gets an extra bonus 2 points. A record-breaking day for Club Marine, giving them 12, Shimano with 8, Berkley with 6, and Mercury with just 3. To the championship leaderboard, and amazingly, from round 2 to round 3, all positions have been reversed. Club Marine rocketing to the top, 3 points ahead of the other 3 teams. A resounding victory there by Club Marine's Tim Morgan. Next round, the AFC hits the road. We travel north to visit beautiful and picturesque Lake Barumba for the first time. Plenty of hot angling action, spills and thrills, and one of our bass anglers will face relegation. Until then, I'm Matthew Campbell, and on behalf of Steve Morgan, it's bye for now.
Got to be happy about that. Love your work.